All right, what's up, guys? I'm here today with Sarah Ray.
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for being here. She is a comedian and she does improv and some stand up. Go ahead and let people know what shows you have coming up.
So not this coming ladies' night at the Village Theater, but the next one I'm going to be submitting another sketch. I am also in Bob's improv troupe on September 12th.
Relapse Bob.
Relapse Bob.
Yeah, I love Bob.
Dope guy.
He's the best guy ever. Village Theater, that's cool. So you submitted a sketch before?
I did, yeah. This last ladies' night, I had a sketch on the premiere block. It was touching on all of the issues around the abortion bill.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like political comedy.
It's pretty great. It can be pretty hit or miss for the wrong crowd, but
I don't know. I feel like you can get it all out of your system.
Oh, for sure.
I lost our mic stand, by the way. That's why I'm holding this thing like a weirdo. I don't know what I did with it. That's what happens when you do comedy. You lose things.
All the time. I can't remember what I had an hour ago, so.
So what are some highlights from doing improv?
Highlights from doing improv? Like as far as it goes for like shows I felt like were great, or
yeah, like really great shows.
We had this just recently in the past 5 months. We had this like improvaganza at Relapse, and it was literally in People Garden, which is the name of Bob Wood's group, for about 6 hours of improv.
Jeez, yeah.
So it was great in the way like the longer it went, it was pretty terrible improv, but it was like great. All of us working as a group and learning each other.
Yeah, that's a long time to do improv.
It was different teams, but it was 6 hours.
I met somebody. I can't remember who told me this. If you told me this, hit me up. That they were part of a festival that did comedy for 3 days straight.
It was at the improv festival?
I'm not. Well, they were saying it was stand up. I think
The Laughing Skull Festival?
was it. It was like no, there was no like breaks between shows. It was literally like comedy.
Oh my
for
god,
3 days.
That sounds exhausting.
They did like a Guinness record or something. I can't remember who told me that, but
I mean, my hat is off to whoever can do that for 3 days straight.
I don't know. They said they were running on like no sleep. Just
Good
like,
God. Maybe it makes them better. You start hallucinating.
Probably,
No.
yeah. You get some weird ideas though, and then maybe you don't even know what's funny anymore.
And everything's funny at that point.
I feel like I would get burned out doing that.
No, I don't really think it's, when you love what you're doing, it's really hard to get burnout on it. You might be tired, but I think there's a difference between tired and burnout. Like for me, I love doing comedy because I love making people happy.
Yeah.
I'm also a hairdresser, which is the sole reason I'm a hairdresser.
Nice.
Being able to impact somebody else and just put a smile on their face for a second is just worth everything.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I do like to take a break though, because I play music, so I have to go do shows with the band a lot, and that gives me time to like settle my thoughts and really write out some new like material.
That's fair.
Stuff. I guess improv is kind of one of those things like you want momentum going all the time.
Yeah, I think so. Or like just to have energy with the people you're with, or improv and stand up are two different beefs, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's cool to be doing both. I kind of just do stand up reluctantly. I've done improv, and I do it sometimes. But I don't know. There's just something about stand up. I'm just like hooked.
I feel like you either like one or the other. I don't really know a lot of people who like both. And usually you're pretty against the other when you're good at one.
I'm not against improv at all. It's always time and energy. Oh man,
That's my phone over there.
Oh, it's not me. Nice. Professional show we got going on. Danny's sitting here. Edward's out of town. He's big time with Set It Off right now. Too cool for the show. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, big boy tours.
I love him. You say you used to play a little music.
Yeah, I did.
So what was that like Did you do that before comedy or?
Oh yeah,
in
it
the
was
middle?
like 8 years ago. I started doing it out of high school. Just kind of like wayward East Atlanta punk. Just wanted to do something fun.
Like 529 shows?
Oh
or
yeah,
what?
I didn't quite start there. I hung out there all the time, but I wasn't old enough when I started to go into any of those places. Occasionally, I'd get the slip. Like they'd be like, "Okay, well you're not drinking, but you can come in." But I started doing music with friends at Swayze's.
Nice.
Up in Kennesaw.
Yeah, that's where I started.
Really? That's
Oh, yeah.
dope. A lot of people don't remember Swayze's.
I started music and comedy at Swayze's.
I never went to comedy at Swayze's. I really regret that.
I would do shows, and the owner liked my comedy because he was a pretty sick guy, and he would put me on shows with just bands and give me like 15 minutes, and I didn't really have 15 minutes, but
Just make it up, fuck it. Like,
yeah, we did it. I would at least try and whatever. That's how I started doing comedy. I didn't even know about this whole comedy world out there, and
I
then
didn't either.
I was like, man, people are doing shows every night. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, it's just like you just kind of you get going at the beginning of the night and you just go from venue to venue and meet all these people and like they're all really awesome people.
Yeah, it's crazy. So did you play an instrument or?
I was classically trained in piano. I can play the piano.
Nice.
But I'm primarily a vocalist and a lyricist. So in my band, I sing, I played piano, wrote the music. I would sometimes write sheet music for the band, but a lot of the time it was kind of just improv music. Like it was just us jamming out in a small venue.
Yeah, we used to practice over at Swayze's.
That's pretty much what we did all
Now-
the time.
Now we practice in here. This room is tiny, so it's not the best practice room.
Soundproofed at least?
Nope.
Nope.
And Danny's room is right there, so he just gets hit with like a wall of sound like every other Sunday.
Is it like a free show though? It's like this is kind of cool. I don't. Nice.
And, like, oh man, just us like messing around playing the same like stupid lick over and over again. Because we'll just get like bored or whatever and start jamming out to some
Yeah.
like stupid song.
That's the best way to do it. I just started doing it again with a couple of friends because I wanted to start doing original music for sketches. So it's pretty
Nice.
much like the same thing. We just sit in someone's living room and just bullshit and play the same thing over and over.
Well, if you ever want to hit me up, I need like a podcast intro.
Oh, fuck
to
yeah.
show, I don't know. We were gonna write something, but it would probably be pretty like stupid.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's true. Corey wrote a song, and it was like my guitarist Corey, and it was mostly like fart noises with some like programmed drums. Yeah, the synthesizer. That's all music is now. It's just like a synthesizer and somebody singing, I guess.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to kind of learn how to do is synthesize, but synthesizer keyboards are really confusing to me.
Yeah, it is a lot of just like unnecessary settings and stuff like that. And so what kind of like local bands do you like? Just give some shout outs.
I kind of jump around in music types. I listen to everything. I think I'm not snobby about anything except for probably Americana and ska punk. I can't do either of those. But most of the time I'm going to
Oh,
like
you don't like ska punk?
no way.
Oh no.
I can't do that combination. I don't know what it is.
What about the old shows at the Masquerade? They would call them the Masquerade.
No.
Those are the best shows.
I appreciate the really bad dad pun, but I don't know. I can appreciate it from afar. I can't go to a show. I get really annoyed.
Do you still go to shows?
Oh yeah, I go to shows like every week. I think one of my favorite bands that tours through Atlanta is Gunpowder Gray. I love Gunpowder Gray, Paralyzer. I haven't seen a lot of it, but Omni and Paralyzer usually play together.
I don't know who that is, but Shout out.
Yeah. The Boos, when they were around. I'm also into Chaz's new band, Pine and Tolliver. They've got good music.
Cool. So where would you go see somebody play?
I think it's usually a toss-up between the Earl and 529. I used to frequent Star Bar all the time on like their punk nights and everything, but I haven't gone for music there in a while.
Yeah, we played Star Bar and I think it was Jabroni Fest.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Seagulls put that on. That was a cool show.
Oh yeah.
And we played there with like Kid Macho, R.I.P. and Resident One a couple times. Yeah, Star Bar had some great shows.
Oh, for sure.
But I've never done comedy at Star Bar.
You gotta go. It's a free show every Monday night.
I go to the show sometimes, but it's always crowded and
it's super crowded.
One of those people, I kind of sit in the back.
So. Appreciate it from afar.
Yeah.
Well, Rodney is just amazing. He puts on a great show every time.
Oh yeah, it's always really cool, and it's crazy to see that many people like packed in there.
It is.
When we play, it'll be a good night, but it's not like popping off like it is on Monday nights.
There's just something different about comedy, I think, and the way, like, how raw and like down and dirty the Star Bar comedy is. I think that's what people really like.
Have you ever done the vape mic over in Little 5 Points?
I have been there. I've never gotten up and done it.
It's pretty interesting, like just the contrast between the two mics. That one's brand new, and it's kind of like just getting started, and then like right down the street is Star Bar, and it's like popping off every time. So. Well,
the thing about Star Bar comedy is I kind of feel like those are kind of the big dogs in Atlanta. Like those are the people who have they've got a lot of sets, like 15, 20-minute sets. They've really been frequenting around for a long time.
Yeah.
I really think if Rodney asks you to get up on stage at Star Bar, that that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, shout out to Pierre. He was trying to get on Star Bar for the longest time.
Oh, Pierre's hilarious.
And, yeah, when he went up, it was great too. He killed. So.
Yeah. My good friend Kelly Mendez, she just went up for the first time. Oh, she's awesome. She is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, she's the best.
And she just went up on Star Bar for the first time. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before that.
So who's your favorite Atlanta comic?
Atlanta based, like, or just in general?
Yeah.
I think Roy Scoval.
Oh, yeah. All right. He's on a different level.
He is. He's a big dog.
He's a pro.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Connor is hilarious. I love listening to his sets. Matt Peschney, Rachel Epstein.
Oh,
I think I just said her last name wrong. Spencer Rizzo.
Oh, Spencer's hilarious.
Patrick Dalton, Chris Islam.
I gotta say, my favorite Atlanta comic right now is Haley Elman.
Oh, I love Haley.
I saw her at Da Vinci's last night, dude, and she crushed. Like, people were in tears, man. It was so funny. I can't even remember the joke because I was laughing so hard at it. But she's coming up.
Sam Gordon, too. She's hilarious.
She's oh, yeah. That mic is my favorite one on Tuesdays now.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Sunday Fun Day? It's Rachel's open mic.
No, I haven't gone.
It's awesome.
I do a lot of stuff on Sundays. Like, we usually have like band practice, and I play at the church sometimes, play bass. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to get out to mics on Sunday.
Yeah.
But where does she do it?
It's the Highland Inn. So she's at Highland. It's the last Sunday of every month at 8.
Is it a showcase mic?
Kinda. She kinda does it a little different. Basically, there's a bucket, as always, and you put your name in the bucket, and you get, I think it's 3 minutes, and the timer is up on the board right behind you.
Nice.
And she gives the crowd control, so you can get booed off the stage. She can start giving you some cues. It's like she's got a synthesizer that she uses. She starts giving you some cues where it's like, okay, that was not an appropriate joke. But she also does this fun thing where you can ask God for help. And so if you say, God, I need help, she will give you a suggestion for something to riff off of. Yeah, it's pretty great.
I would definitely want to check that out. What other mics do you like to go to?
the Nanius mic is really good. The Relapse open mic is pretty good. As far as it goes for stand-up, I'm really new to stand-up. I've been doing improv for 3 years, and then the stand-up has kind of come along with that, and I am going to go up and I'm just now starting to put my name in buckets and stuff like that, basically.
Nice. Have you ever been to the Strand on Wednesdays?
I haven't. That's probably one of the only open mics I haven't been to yet.
That's like my workout room.
Mm-hmm.
I would consider it because I live like 10 minutes away. Shout out to the Strand.
Yeah, the Strand's dope. I think the last time I went there was a film race for some friends.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool venue. It's old. Yeah, man. It's really interesting. Would you say there's any bad times you've had in comedy?
Yeah. I think there's been plenty. I think when I first started getting into improv, the first time I got into improv, it was at Jams over at the Basement Theater. And I was just going to the Jam for like, I don't know, a year straight and just kind of getting improv stage time like on those days. And then I started like auditing classes. I like went to Dad's Garage once, Whole World. And I think the worst experience I've ever had was just at a jam. And I was so wasted. I got up on the stage. I had my name called because the way they did it at the jam at the Basement was you put your name in the bucket and you would get picked on a random team of people. And I got up on the stage and I couldn't even stand up straight. It was just terrible. I mean, I couldn't speak straight. It was just like a good night, but terrible for comedy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, honestly, that would make me more nervous than like doing stand up, because I know I have my jokes to fall back on when I'm doing stand up, but getting paired up with like an improv group, like you got to make sure you like vibe with those people.
That's
and
for
they're
sure.
not gonna like try to upstage you or like push you off or whatever, or that your sense of humor works with their sense of humor.
Yep.
That would make me much more nervous, not knowing if I was gonna do like somewhat okay going in. Because with stand up, I'm at least like, I'm gonna tell my material. If they don't like it, I'm still gonna get through it.
For sure, yeah.
With improv, it's like, oh man, if I get stuck, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Well, the thing about, and this is why I love Bob Wood so much, because I have clinical anxiety. So when I get on the stage, if I'm too far into my head, it's just not gonna be good. It's and the way Bob teaches improv is to just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Like get out of your head, stop thinking about what's going on, and like he actually taught me to use my anxiety to make it funny. And so
That's interesting.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's you project your anxiety onto the crowd as opposed to keeping it in your head.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you awkward, which is hilarious because people can relate to that.
Yeah. I think confidence is big in comedy.
Oh, for sure.
Even if you're saying something that's not that funny, if you have like this air of like, whatever, I'm owning it right now.
Yeah.
Then they're going to like you and they're going to want to laugh for you.
Right. Like, you're being candid. People like candid. They like people they can connect with.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this guy's not just like reciting something to me. He's like, he wants me to like engage with him. And yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm. I think that translates into any form of comedy. I do feel like sometimes I watch stand-ups and they're super scripted. Like it's just the same thing over and over again. And I get it. Like you got to have that set. You got to have that, that direction, the path you're taking. But I like comics like Eliza Schlesinger. Like they have their set, but they're not afraid to go off the rails.
Yeah.
Like they are just candid people not trying to be clever. They're hilarious because they're saying what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah. That's how I like to kind of do it too, is I'll have the jokes, but if I start like riffing off on something, I'll allow myself to do that and be like, oh, I don't know where I'm going, but
here we go. I'm going to own it.
Hope it works out.
Right. Well, it's like growing up, I watched comedians with my stepfather, like George Carlin. And George Carlin, I think, was way ahead of his time. You know, he said and did a lot of things that people didn't agree with, but he was hilarious. You know, he would go off the rails every single time he was on that stage, and it was amazing.
I saw like Joe Smith a lot.
Oh yeah,
he will randomly just start going off on something.
For sure.
I know he doesn't know where he's going, but he's getting there.
Yep. It's like you know, waiting for like the load to just come out.
Yeah. Also, Marshall Connor. Have you ever seen him do a set?
No.
Oh man, he doesn't even know where he's starting, let alone where he's going. His act is so funny. That dude has stage presence just like nailed.
It's like just getting up on the stage and you know, I don't know what you're about to say, but you're gonna be funny.
And he doesn't know what he's gonna say either. It's like, I think one of the most hilarious people is Patrick Dalton.
My favorite thing he does is when people laugh, he stops and he goes, "Thank you."
He'll stop at like random parts too and just thank the crowd. Oh man, yeah, stage presence just nailed, Patrick.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
good job.
which I know you're not.
Have you ever seen Bill Burr live?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God. Like he's a phenom. Like he just gets up there and talks.
I heard he was here recently.
He was.
I don't have that Live Nation money. Bill, if you're listening.
My bad.
I don't have Live Nation money, Bill.
Oh God. Yeah, I think I connect more with comics who are just candid that way.
Yeah, definitely. I saw the guy from The Hangover, Ken Jeong.
Mhm.
He had a notebook on stage in his Netflix special. I was like,
really?
Yeah, he was doing like stand-up bits with a notebook on stage. I was like, you kidding me, man?
How long is the special?
It's like 45 minutes, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe 35, I don't know. Which is longer than mine, but still.
Whatever works for you, I guess.
I'm shooting another one at Relapse in August 23rd.
Nice.
Come out
Mhm.
and watch me.
Well, don't you have a show tonight too?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Yep, is Wednesday, July 3rd, whenever this airs. I'm at the Strand on the theater stage, which is sick. I'm definitely bringing Danny with me to get some pictures. And that's going to be super cool. And then July 9th, I hope this airs before then.
That's my birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm doing a show at Red Sky Tapas Bar. Like, what is tapas are like Spanish appetizers.
Do you like tapas?
I've never had them, but I know they're expensive.
They're basically a sandwich for $30.
Jeez.
It's like a little finger sandwich.
Well, I hope there's a lot of rich people there. And I'll bring my CD. And I have a t-shirt with my face on it, which was not my idea, but I have it.
You should be eating tapas while you're doing it.
Eating some I hope they give me some free tapas.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
It's basically just small plates for really rich women who don't want to eat in front of each other.
Nice. Yeah, well, hey, if there's a market, supply and demand.
You gotta go with it.
rich women who are embarrassed about the eating
Well,
gotta
pretty
eat
much,
somewhere.
yeah. Well, and that's like a common misconception. Women love eating in front of each other, right? We just act like we don't. So you have like a 20-minute period. Let's just say you got a group of 4 women, right? There's always that one woman who says, "You want to get tapas?" Tapas? Anybody? It's a small plate.
July 9th at Red Sky, I'm doing 3 sets. It's like 20 minutes each.
Nice.
So come to that. And then August 23rd, I'm filming a set at Relapse Theater.
Whoop.
Come out to that. Is there anything else that you want to plug?
Man, just ladies' night is on the 11th. I don't have anything on it, but Chris Nikitas and Amber North are awesome, and their show is awesome. So come out to that. If this airs before the 4th, there's a special July 4th filibusters going on at Relapse Theater.
Shout out.
Connor and Jace. Yeah. It's going to be dope.
Sweet. Yeah, Connor's on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Love seeing that guy.
He's hilarious.
We're pretty much into this thing. Also have Floor Space. They're a punk band playing at the Party Store July 13th, right? I think. July 13th. I'm just going to open the show with like 5-10 minutes of comedy. And then Diet Blood is playing. Bury Me Breathing.
Oh, Bury Me Breathing.
Yeah, they're playing.
That's awesome.
And, you should come out to that show because if you like punk, then you'll really like Floor Space. Floor Space is Charlie from Keep Flying's band. So, shouts out. Come to the show. Red Tide Rising, all the hits. Connor said he'd come do a set. We'll see.
Very nice.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Doing this. Make sure you check out her comedy and come out to a show. All right.
Cool.
This is where I would have like a cool piano outro if I had one.